3, 2, 1, go. I think I hit play. Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 3 between Vipers and Team Fusion, spawning on the blue side of the map. Wearing the blue health bars, this game is going to be Vipers. In the top lane, Baka Pro will be playing Gnar. In the jungle, Fiorix on the Skarner. In the mid lane, I'm a Gay Robot will be on Syndra, and Revan Christ and Droopy the Clown will be on the Kai'Sa and Leona.
And on the red side, rocking those red fedoras, we've got Dogmar on the Maokai in the top lane. Hoiisi back on the Kha'Zix, which we gave MVP to from last game. Uncle Jabroni on the Vlad in the mid lane, and we've got Flozart and Codekin on the Ezreal Thresh bottom lane.
I apologize if there's noise in the background currently. There's somebody mowing directly behind me. It's kind of scary. I know it's probably not as loud as it was on the old microphone, but anyway, we get to play the... God, I already can't think of it. The... Dominion minigame this game with the Skarner.
Lost and forgotten game. Anyway, we've got a couple interesting things here. We've got the Syndra taking teleport, and then not necessarily as uncommon, but not the most common choice. Uncle Jabroni on the Vlad is taking Airy rather than Unsealed Spellbook.
Yeah, I'm really interested about the drafts that happen this game. Just especially the way that the bot lane matchups have happened. But Revan Christ back on that Kai'Sa. We saw him have a pretty good performance on that game number 1. So I'm excited to see what he can do there. Going up against Codekin, who had a good game on the Thresh last game. Seeing in the chat, apparently the Syndra was picked into Vlad, which is traditionally a pretty bad matchup for Syndra.
Yeah. Oh no, you pressed R, I pressed cool.
So level
also
2.
The Syndra's taking Resolve, or is in the Resolve tree secondary.
Interesting. So yeah, Gnar's gonna have a pretty good push in this lane early. We see him struggling a little bit to CS, but Gnar should have a pretty big advantage on Maokai early, but that starts to fall off relatively quickly as Maokai gets tanky.
And the same thing goes for the bottom lane as well. The Kai'Sa definitely is able to clear waves much quicker than an Ezreal. At least if she's using her Q.
Fiorix is in mid. There's the pool from Jabroni's, as we were talking about. Hoey's in top lane. Going to go ahead and land the slowdown onto Baka. Doesn't have the support of Dogmar. They're opposite ways on this little island. Maybe a little lapse in communication there from Team Fusion.
At the very least, he got a big chunk of damage off. Maybe relieve a little bit of pressure from the Gnar. Or Gnar's just going to go even deeper into the jungle.
Fiorix showing no fear. Yeah, with those Spires, you can pretty much 1v1 anybody as Skarner, and he has the backup of his top laner. Maokai's going to roam down. He doesn't have any mana. Gay Robot's trying to get in, or at least make sure that Jabroni's can't get in. Baka Pro jumps back over the wall. And now Fiorix trying to... They're really trying to find anybody that they can, but they don't... Baka Pro flashes directly into the waiting arms of Jabroni's, and that'll be first blood picked up for the Vladimir.
That'd be question marks there.
Yeah, that was an interesting flash. He could have probably just walked it out the other side and been okay. Not really sure about that, but regardless, it's a first blood over to Team Fusion. I'm almost wondering if that was just a little bit of caution, just because of the way the last game went from Baka Pro, trying to be a little bit too safe almost. But now this is more what you expect from this top lane matchup with Bakapro just chasing down the Maokai. Is running to his jungler. Gets the jump off. Gonna go ahead and grab that hyper proc, and Bakapro is gonna pick up the solo kill in return.
No mana on the Maokai. Maokai shoved up the tower. Nara's just gonna run you down. Nothing fancy, just straight old simple how the matchup should work.
Fjorix is waiting over the wall here. I don't know if he's planning to flash over the wall or what. But Droopy the Clown goes in, gonna land the stun. Codekin gets taken pretty low. Reverend Christ now focusing back on Flozart. Flozart doesn't have very much mana, maybe just a Q or two.
I guess that's an interesting summer. Normally you take a Ignite on Leona for like the early kill pressure, since that's sort of her what she's well known for. But like, even if like, who would you exhaust? Like, there's a Vladimir, or I guess the Kazakhs. They're really respecting the Kazakhs, maybe.
Yeah, especially after the 13 kill last game.
We also let the Kazakhs through the thick fan.
Yeah, that's also true. Oh, that's a huge Hemo Plague on 4 members from Jabronis. It's going to get a lot of healing back. The hook lands onto Fjorix. Going to have to give up that dragon. It's down to 100 or 1,000 health, excuse me, as Hoic picks that one up. Is he going to go for more?
It's only level 4. No real assassination items yet. Doesn't pull the trigger.
We've seen him be hyper. It's not the way I wanted to use that word, but we've seen him go for things. I thought that were a little bit more risky than that was, but. Yeah, go ahead. They'll take the free the free kill and the free Infernal Dragon. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, right as I was questioning it, the exhaust actually, like, it did cut the Vlad damage there. It didn't cut the healing, but it honestly could have been 2 or 3 kills off the Hemo Plague tick.
Yeah, that was a huge Hemo Plague from Jabroni. He's able to get that on all 4 members, and if they'd been able to chain just a little bit more damage into that, that could have been just disgusting. Just a team wipe at level 4. But as it stands, about 1,000 gold lead early on for Team Fusion, and they look like they're picking up where they left off from game number 2, other than the one misstep in top lane.
Is Vlad gonna go Shirelia's first item? He's got the Aether Wisp.
Yeah, it's either that or he's going Ardent Sensor, which is ass, so.
Other interesting runes in this game, like Ezreal and Klepto, is not a surprise at all. Ezreal in Futures Market's a little bit more... I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, just it's different.
What would you normally take in that slot, then?
That's the 3rd slot, right? Yeah. So either you can go like DMAT to help you clear waves a little bit better, since that's where your Shirley's picked up for the Vlad. But you can either pick up a DMAT to help clear waves a little bit better. You can, or you take magical footwear. Or is footwear in the 3rd or 2nd?
I just figured you knew when you were talking about it. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't remember the runes exactly.
Gathering Storm is what Otso says. So.
Well, do you think we're not talking about the secondary tree? We're talking about Klepto in the primary tree. Yeah, footwear's in the 3rd tree right now. So typically you take your boots so you can run or kite better. I know in sorcery you're gonna definitely take Gathering Storm, and then it's kind of your choice on the other one. You can take Transcends if you want CDR if you're not doing the double tier build. You can do Mana Flow just and let you harass earlier and get bigger mana pool early. Or if you're doing the double tier build, you can boost your shields even greater.
Jabroni's is roamed down here, and Droopy is clearing a ward off by himself. And yeah, that's not exactly where you want to be positioned as the Leona. Kill goes over to Flozart on the Ezreal. Reverend Christ looking to get a little bit aggressive. Do you like the tier first on Syndra?
She does stack it at a decent rate, but when you're behind,
he's gonna go in. That's a couple of ultimates burned there, and yeah, Syndra doesn't have a whole lot of good answer for that gank, so not the worst investment from Fusion, and now Hoey looking to get aggressive. The Spire is owned currently by Skarner. Gonna go ahead and pull him in. Can they delete the Kha'Zix? No, not enough damage there as Hoey gets out, and Jabroni's is really asserting his authority over here near mid lane. Dogmar and Baka both trying to clear wards.
Dogmar Biscuits is in the second tree or the second tier. It's either Dematerializer or Futures Market or Magical Footwear.
A lot of wards dying here early. We've seen a lot more exchange and vision than we have in the previous couple of games. Flash in from Jabroni's. He's going to go ahead and pick it up with the auto attack. That's his third kill.
So anyway, to finish my statement earlier on the tier Syndra, you stack it well, but you don't want it when you're behind because you delay your power spike. And she's sort of I don't want to say an earlier game bully, but she needs to get ahead early at this point with how weak she is as a champion, and especially since they've reset or like rebalanced her power a little bit on her Q and ult. Like looking around like the level 9 power spike, basically, you want to have your completed item fully stacked, and that's unlikely as we're seeing her just getting the components at level 8 right now. So a completed Lunes would have been much nicer.
So we've seen a rough early game so far from Vipers. Where are they going to get back into this if they're going to pull it back? Do you have to play on the back of Baka Pro, or do you want to see them put more resources to bottom lane?
Well, with like the Gnar so far, he's going to continue to keep that shove up for a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer, to be honest, before the Maokai finally just doesn't care. But I'd invest more resources into my bottom lane, just because you want the Kai'Sa to get ahead. You want the Leona to actually get to where she can go in and not just kind of die. Looks like the Kai'Sa is going back for the Death Dance build again.
Yeah, Jabroni's has done a really good job of using his Blood Rush. The movement speed that you get when you have that extra Q stacked. Good bush checking from Baka Pro here. They at least have an inkling about where they are. Are they on top of a ward? Yeah, they're on top of a ward back on the other side of the river. This is another Infernal Dragon, so this would be, actually a relatively important contest. Dogmar has teleport available, so does Baka Pro, but Baka is joined with the team right now.
So they're investing a lot of time into this. They need to either make the play happen or...
There's the teleport being channeled from Dogmar. Jabroni's gets knocked back out immediately. Fjorix gets jumped on and eliminated. Solar Flare's going to lock up a couple, but it's not doing a whole lot now for Drippy the Clown as he goes down to Codekin. Gay Robot's getting chased down, as is Baka Pro. Kills being picked up across the board. Is Hoey going to get this one, or is Dogmar? It'll be Dogmar with the damage from the Vami Cinder. And Revan Christ was not involved in that fight.
Not at all. He was in the bottom lane farming.
Can he get the steal? Ooh, he took it down to 38, but wasn't able to secure it. So the Infernal Dragon will go over to Team Fusion. So yeah, that was just a really weird fight all around. It looked like Fusion just had decided that was their go button. And Dogmar teleported in, they joined up with 5 and were able to focus on some targets. Whereas Vipers couldn't decide if they really wanted to contest everything or not, and they never called Revan Christ in.
That was an interesting decision. You're like, at this point, if you're Vipers and you're behind, you need to be trying to fight with a numbers advantage, not put yourself at a disadvantage.
Yeah, at the very least, you need to be even, and especially because your Kai'Sa's the one with, all the farm right now. A little bit of a hello there from Hoisi.
You've got the Vladimir, who's just like normally irritating enough in a 1-on-1 or like a 1-on-2, and with him being 3-0 and 5, you're gonna need to throw so many resources to shut him down. Vlad that's snowballing is one of the dumbest champions in the game.
Yeah, something I'd like to see from both teams going forward here. The Dragon's dead, so there's no reason to we're going to get interrupted here. Dogmar's going to get caught a little bit here by Nature's Grasp. He's very tanky so far. That Aftershock proc doing a lot of work. Ooh, the stun doesn't land over the wall for Gay Robot, so he's going to get out relatively unscathed.
Nar misclicked and autoed that blast gun. I don't think that was a Maokai auto.
Now Reverend Christ forced to try to 1v2. Anyway, as I was saying, I'd love to see really either team go ahead and assign people top. That way you can get pressure on the top turret and the top lane and maybe get that Rift Herald for free, because there's no objective on the bottom side of the map right now. Fjorix pulls in Hoey in the mid lane, but there's no damage to follow up. And I feel like that's the big issue. You have that initiation from Leona and Skarner, but you have no damage to follow that up if Reverend Christ isn't with you.
Absolutely, and like if anything, you don't. Oh, sorry, gonna die to the tower.
Oh my gosh, there's that discrepancy in damage we were talking about. Gay Robot not putting out enough to finish off OEC there, and gets picked off in the mid lane. The tower in mid lane falls as well. So that's 2 kills for the jungle mobs and 1 for the tower now. If we're keeping track, I'd love to keep a season-long track. That'd be pretty funny. Hoey's gonna pick up another kill in the top lane as Baka Pro goes down.
Sort of like the Krillin own counter in like Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Yes.
Bing.
I don't feel like there was that much of it in our season. Maybe I'm through rose-tinted glasses, but I guess Lucky got executed like twice last season, so maybe I can't talk too much. Anyway, it's 13-1 for Fusion. We had a Fiesta game 1, and these last 2 games have been much more controlled and deliberate from Team Fusion, and I've liked what they've shown so far. It seems like they have a good idea of their strengths so far in the season, which is that Hoesi and Jabronis are going to be the big members of the team, and getting Flozart to do a little bit of damage is good, but not. It doesn't make or break the team. It's a lot through that jungle and mid.
Absolutely, and it's showing like right now in the gold. You've got a 3,000 gold lead in the mid lane, and
whereas
2,000 gold lead in the jungle.
Yeah, I think Hoey's going to go ahead and pick up his 4th kill there. K-Robot's probably going to die. I think that Vipers... Oh, just not enough damage. I think the Vipers don't have a great idea of their strengths currently. I feel like their bot lane is one of the stronger points that they have, and it's something that they really need to put more resources into getting ahead. Reverend Christ has looked solid when he's been involved in team fights, but whether it's him choosing to farm or the team not calling him in correctly is something else. But I think that they have at least something that they can work with going forward. Not in this game though. Hoey's dominating. He's 6-0 on the Kazakhs.
He reached that Duskblade power spike once again, and we instantly see 3 people get deleted by him.
So Dogmar and Baka Pro, and this is, I think that's the moment that we were kind of waiting for. Dogmar. Oh my God, I've said it so many times correctly. Flozart picks up a kill in the bottom lane. Hoey gets pulled in. He's going to die to the tower. That's going to be only the 2nd kill of the game, going over to Vipers.
If we're comparing top lane, you've got an item and a half on the Maokai, and only components for Baka.
Yeah, that just seems like the itemization decision. He probably could have completed an item at this point and just hasn't.
He also hasn't backed in a while. He's sitting on 2,000 gold.
Dogmar's going to go ahead and pick up that solo kill under tower. That feels pretty good as the Maokai. You take shit for a while, and then all of a sudden you're a god and you can tower dive whatever you want. It appears we've hit that point. 19-2 now, pushing in on the mid lane. Do you think Baron's an objective at 20?
Definitely. You've got a really beefy Maokai. The Thresh is a partial beef boy. And then with the Fed Vlad Fed Kazakhs, you can destroy Baron. It still has a lot of raw health, but you can still chug through it real quick.
That's a 3rd Infernal Dragon spawning right now. That's pretty much game with or without the Baron, if you get all 3 of those.
Absolutely, and with like the leads that we've been talking about, with like literally every lane, but especially with the Vlad Kha'Zix, just like with the especially like the as a Vladimir player myself, the current build that he's going is extremely cheap, but it's also extremely low AP. So being able to amp him up just with those Drakes, it just feels so good.
Dogmar might be in a little bit of trouble. They might be able to at least pick up a cheeky kill on the back of this, and Fjorix is going to pick it up. I don't think it was that the smite or the E that actually picked it up. Oh, a hook lands from Codekin as Droopy's going to go down. Flowzart now with his 4th kill of the game, going to go ahead and fire through on that True Shot Barrage. Game Robot's going to tick down and eventually die to the Hemo Plague. Jabroni's dies to the tower. Revenchrist trying to make something happen. Just didn't... He canceled his auto 2 or 3 times there to proc his passive and wasn't able to do it. Hoey now running away from Fjorix. He's running on to the Spire. Fjorix should win that. Okay, Baka's gonna take that. Hey, that kill you took from me earlier, I'm taking that back. Flowzart meanwhile is just pushing down the tower in mid lane. Hook coming through, not gonna connect from Codekin onto Baka Pro. Teleport now being channeled from Dogmar as he's looking to get a little bit spicy. Goes through, goes ahead and picks out the Skarner. Hook from Codekin's gonna land onto the Gnar. The Gnar show gonna knock him into the wall. But Baka's not able to do anything more than that. It just slows up the push from Fusion. So yeah, let's take a gander. Nothing too out of the ordinary on the builds. The Blade of the Ruined King 3rd, it looks like, coming through from Flowzart. I don't want to say it's a dated build at this point because I think the double tier is just it's almost a fad. I don't know that it's necessarily the strongest way to play Ezreal, but it's the most recent way to.
With the so here will be my statement on that build for Flowzart specifically right now, as we just kind of witnessed Gay Robot witness a Kha'Zix. Anyway,
Fjorix is chasing him down though. Hoey might be in a little bit of trouble. Oh, the Zenith Blade doesn't connect. They're gonna find Jabroni's though. I don't think this is a fight. Baka Pro doesn't have his ultimate as he jumps in. Jabroni's is gonna go down. Revenchrist now doing a relative decent amount of damage at this point. Trying to run away because go ahead and get the speed boost. That's a nice cue from Flowzart, able to connect in the middle of those minions and slow him up enough that the double kill comes through from Hoey C.
I wish the Vlad would have just gone for, like, I know he's super fed, but I wish he would have just gone for Zanya's third item. It would allow him to go super deep and then just stall. And then, like, you've got all the money in the world, so you can get the death cap later. But anyway, going with Flowzart specifically in Ezreal right now, we're sitting at 23 minutes, and he still does not have his completed Nira mana. So, doing the double tier, Trent, like, fad or not, it just, he won't have a complete double stack until like 30-35 minutes. So, and with how this game's looking, why not hit your power spike earlier?
Yeah. Flowzart's going to go down actually at the front of that fight. Revenchrist jumps in using that Void Assault, trying to get something done. That's a Gnar into the wall. It doesn't... I don't think he actually got the extra stun off of that. Hoey's going to be caught up in the back. This looks like a little bit of an overstay from Fusion. So something that needs to be cleaned up later. Ultimately, probably not too costly, although they're pinging out the Baron. I think this is pretty risky with Vladimir up. If Vlad can get there, that Hemo Plague onto the low members should just tear through him with the magic resist debuff.
And he now has that death cap, which I guess he's been spotted in vision with the minions, so they might be aware, but he'll just delete them all.
They're continuing to burst this down, though. It's at 5,000. This is... Oh, there's the Hemo Plague onto 3. Jabroni's picks up 1. Fjorix is going to die as well. That's 2. Baka Pro flashes back over the wall. Jabroni's trying to 1v5 here, essentially. And he can with the way the health bars are. I don't mind the Desperation Baron, but the way the Baron is right now... Oh my goodness, you need to plan that out a little bit more.
So I know that the triple Spicy Drake is like the ultimate dream, but why don't we throw in a Cloud Drake to help the immobile Vlad get in there even faster, or the Kazakhs get even further with the picks.
Yeah,
That's what's up next.
why not? Vlad's actually able to tank this up with relative ease. I wonder if that's something that we're going to see in like LCS play is a higher priority on Vladimir, just because he can actually tank the Baron in its current state. Anyway, Hoey's getting a little bit spicy here. I don't know that he can do this just yet. There are only 3 members defending right now for Vipers.
Fusion just needs to take their time and play around Jabroni. He's 3 levels up on basically everyone, if not 5 levels
Baka,
in support.
I don't think he actually wanted to hit that, but he goes in and immediately finds Kazakhs waiting for him in the bush. Jabroni's goes in, lands the Hemoplague only onto 1 target, but it's going to be enough to pick up the kill. Leona tries to initiate a fight for some reason and dies. Somehow Gay Robot died as well. Not really sure. That's going to be the inhibitor turret, and the inhibitor going down for Fusion. That might be it. Yeah, I don't think Fjorix can do a whole lot here. Oh, they're going to just straight dive in. That's disgusting. Alright, the 3rd kill of the game for Codekin. And yeah, that's a 3-game series. That's gonna be the 2-1 series win for Team Fusion. Oh. Poor Maokai. His team abandoned him on the fountain. 34-10, the final kill count in 26 minutes and 25 seconds. Again, the 2-1 win for Fusion to start out the season. They're gonna have the first win on the board. Give me your game MVP, give me your series MVP, Mr. Nation, and then I will send you on your way.
All right, yep, we gotta get going to work. For this game, definitely Uncle Jabroni on the Vladimir. Got ahead, had some early roams, and helped himself snowball. Hoey also put in yet another good game on the Kazakhs, and so he definitely is going to get my series MVP. In all 3 games, honestly, he performed all right. The Lee Sin was a little bit questionable, but he definitely had the right idea early, and then just overstayed and kind of allowed a little bit of an early lead to go into the favor of the Vipers.
I definitely agree. I have no issue with that. Thank you all for watching this first series. I'm going to be back with the second series, which is Dude, Where's My Elo versus the Venus Breakers. Those are some team names. All right. We're going to say goodbye to Wing Nation for right now. He has to go to work. I will see you in a couple of hours, Mr. Nation. But thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed his casting, please follow his stream. It's twitch.tv/WingNation. He's also Wing Nation on Twitter, if you want to follow him. Thanks so much for joining me.
There's an underscore there. There's an underscore on Twitter.
Winged_Nation, excuse me.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you for joining me today, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, everybody. Like I said, I'm going to take just a little bit longer of a break than we have been, get some water really quick, and I'll be right back. We're going to have the Venus Breakers